Assalamu alaikum everyone. Good evening. This is your host for the day, Sundus Anwar. I hope you guys are doing good and everything's fine. The rain has kind of made the internet and everything a little problematic, but we're trying our level best to give you guys quality and content with our live sessions. As you know, in this show, we talk about reimaging education and how we as educationists can develop and can change the face of education. Today, I have a very special guest with me because we all talk about educationists as how they are in terms of developing the curriculum, developing new ideas for teaching. But there are people who actually develop the way of communication, the way we talk, the way we, speak. So I would really welcome Miss Mahnoor Hasan. Hi, Miss Mahnoor, how are you?
Hello, Sundus. I'm good. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. So Miss Manur has been practicing speech language therapy SLT. Her qualifications are BS speech language therapy from Ziauddin University. She has done her master's in audiology and speech language pathology. She's a senior lecturer and speech language therapist at Ziauddin University Hospital. She is currently affiliated with Ojala School for Special Children and KDSP Karachi Down Syndrome Program as the clinical supervisor for the graduates and final year students of speech therapy. She also conducts private practices. She has international certifications in such as in prompt, including various certifications in oral placement therapy (OPT), picture exchange communication system (PECF), and fiber optic endoscopic evaluation of swallowing (FEES). Her area of expertise and interest include working with children and adults presenting with feeding and swallowing concerns, dysphagia, stroke, aphasia, stammering, speech sound disorders, voice disorders, language delays, parental training, and counseling. Miss, you have a wide range of things around you. You work with them all. So, first of all, tell me, you as a speech language therapist, how is it?
Sundus, I think it's very exciting. It's a very noble profession, and I believe when you're home, when you're back home, and when you're content with whatever you do, and I think at the end of the day, whenever I'm back home, it's just that I'm at ease. So there's nothing as beautiful as getting back home, despite the fact that it's very tiring as well. It's not easy. You're at ease. You feel content with whatever you do. So I think it's beautiful. I love what I do, and I enjoy. Most importantly, I enjoy whatever I do. So it's nice.
Miss speech language therapy, because I am learning my master's is in English linguistics. I kind of know that how speech is developed and how is everything like that. Miss speech language therapy as a profession, how is it like? What is it like?
Like I said, it's very exciting. It offers you the chance to make a difference in an individual's life. When I joined speech therapy, so I did my undergraduate in speech and language therapy from Ziauddin University. So I remember before joining, I read a tagline which was very catchy to me, and it said, "Doctors work towards saving lives, and speech and language therapists works towards making that life worth living." So, so I think it's just that we work with a variety of patients and variety of different conditions, different concerns that we come across every day, and we work at different settings as well. For example, we work from hospital settings to clinics to rehab centers to schools. We even visit patients to their homes if need be. So yeah, that's about it.
Miss, talking about dealing in the rehab centers and then completely patients in private, hospitals, it's like a very different thing, right? Comparing both of it together, how do you take it? Because that's a very big challenge.
It depends. For me, I think I work with pediatrics as well as adults. So yes, it's completely two different population that I deal with. But I think I'm generally a very friendly person. So I'm good with kids as well as adults. Um, isn't very difficult for me to switch between them. And since I teach students as well, so I don't find it very difficult. I'll be very honest. It's okay. It's good.
Miss, tailoring your communication, basically, how we develop the whole idea of, communication skills and what they are exactly. We're even taught communication skills in business, even right now when I'm learning about English linguistics, even any bachelor's level, there was always a, special, what should I say, training given to the students who are going to go in their professional life, that how exactly you tailor your communication, what to say, what not to say. So, Miss, how do you take this?
Well, when you talk about tailoring, first and foremost, I'd like to highlight the importance of communication. Now, being able to communicate effectively is one of the most important skills one can learn in life. So, effective communication, and then knowing how to tailor your communication according to your audience is I believe very important. Like during these years when even when I was studying, I've come across so many people who do not actually know how to communicate in front of different audiences. For example, they do not have they do not probably know the appropriateness of effective communication when it comes to a variety of people. So communication skills are needed to appropriately um, to maybe to speak appropriately with a wide variety of people, knowing that you can maintain a lot of other factors as well. So now those factors can be all those social cues. Now social cues are your posture, your body language, which is your non-verbal communication, which is very important. And then again, your how you're tailoring your language according to the audience. For example, if I have a group of students that I'm talking to, so I know what how to maintain my language. I know what vocabulary I need to use. I need to be very specific while communicating with them. Whereas on the other hand, maybe if I'm talking to my friends, my language is completely different. My body language is also very different. So this is very important, knowing how to have your own persona, your body language, because your non-verbal communication, which is a word that social sciences suggest, and the easier word for that would be uh, yeah. So easier word would be your body language again. So your body language is the easier word for non-verbal communication. So it's very important to know how you're saying things. Again, there's two things. There's what you say and there's how you say. Generally,
Hmm.
it's more towards how. So I was going through this research which was talking about how and what. So I came across the importance of how over what. कि हम जिस तरह से बोल रहे हैं उससे भी बहुत फर्क पड़ता है, because your body language, your non-verbal communication, it supplies a lot of information that probably isn't supplied verbally. So जो आप verbally कहना चाहते हैं वो आप अपनी body language से भी कह सकते हैं. So just the way we say actions speak louder than words. So it's always good to have a good body language when you talk to people. And again, there's something that a lot of people do not know, which is proximes or proximity. But I am loving the social distancing right now, if you personally ask me, and that's probably because I do not understand whenever people talk to the other person. You need to make
Hmm.
sure the person is very comfortable with you, right? And if you're invading their personal space, how will the other person be able to talk with you or communicate with you? So proxime or your personal space is very important. कि जब भी आप किसी से बात कर रहे हो तो you need to understand one arm distance. ये मेरी personal space है. You're not supposed to stand on my head and speak. So you need to make me comfortable, and in order to make somebody comfortable, you have to have a distance. So social distancing is the right time. I really hope people out there, they can continue practicing social distancing and continue working on it, and need to maintain the right amount of social distance while communicating. So it's very important. Again, internet these days has spoiled us. So let's say technological advancements that has resulted from internet उसने भी हमारी communication को बहुत taper कर दिया है. We're very specific with how we try to communicate. Miscommunications हो रही हैं because, oh, you sent me something, but I couldn't hear how you actually said that. So, right, we're trying to use emojis, but emojis are not very helpful because at the end of the day, we feel the other person is being sarcastic using those emojis. So,
Yeah.
language is beautiful, and this is a whole huge topic to be discussed. And I believe, again, communication is better on phone or done face to face. कुछ बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट किसी से बात करनी है, कोई इजहार करना है, कोई कोई भी काम है which is very important, I believe should be done face to face or on call at least, because
Hmm.
message messages में underlying message नहीं होता, it's just, they're just words. Definitely words की भी बहुत अहमियत है, so you need to understand to choose the right words with the right people. Like right
Hmm.
now, I am being very careful and very cautious while talking because I need to know. I know my audience here, and my audience is not speech therapists, are not speech therapists or related to my field. So I have to be very careful with the terminologies that I use because so it's taking a lot of thinking process right now because I am trying to use words that are easy for my audience, and then again I'm using gestures, I'm using my hands, and I'm trying to be more expressive, so कि कोई बात से कोई offend ना हो जाए. So this is how you communicate effectively, this is how you tailor your communication. Yes.
That's true. Miss, taking your idea forward that, words are something very important and how we should understand the use of words and how to, represent ourselves. How much is it important for a person who's talking, who's up for an interview or, because now I want to talk about the students of my university because I always believe that, they should benefit from whatever content I'm putting forward for them. If you go for an interview, what are those 5 things, especially in your communication, that should be there? So, tips for a better interview. What is that?
Again, I cannot emphasize on the fact that how important it is to think before you speak. A lot of
Hmm.
times हम इतनी जल्दी में बोल रहे होते हैं कि we need to get things out of our system and we forget where our thinking process goes, right? So we do not really think, and we just speak up, right? So think before you speak, talk less, listen more. जितना सवाल पूछा गया है उतना जवाब दें, उससे ज़्यादा ना दें, क्योंकि even we sit as a panel for interviews for a lot of kids, or we take vivas, oral examinations ले रहे होते हैं, तो we also, what we do is, now that's a trick for the students out there, what we do is जो बच्चों के जवाब होते हैं उसमें से we take out more questions, right? So,
Hmm.
so the more you speak, the more you say, the more questions will arise. So again, um, talk less, listen more, have a good body language, be comfortable. Um, I would like to talk about a little. I'd add something here about grooming.
Hmm. Why not?
Not everybody gets the opportunity to study from a very good renowned institutions or
बिल्कुल.
universities, so, and
Hmm.
that's completely fine, ठीक है. University definitely help you shape up your personality and groom you as a person and a professional in the years ahead, but there is something called self grooming as well. ठीक है,
Hmm.
हर चीज प्लेट में नहीं मिल जाती, there's something that you need to work hard for. So look, talk to people, talk to your teachers, talk to people who motivate you. There's everything out there, Google का जमाना है, it's everything there. So learn how to self groom yourself, learn how to have a good body language. Again, it's not important of what you're wearing, it's important of how you carry yourself, right?
Hmm.
So it's very important. So whenever you go to an interview, make sure you're carrying yourself really well. You're prim and proper. You carry yourself well. You have a good body language, and then again you use appropriate language. If I keep our culture aside, Like there's so many cultural differences, and we people from Pakistan, we have so many different cultures. We come from different background. We have so many different um, again languages and dialects and regional languages, but that doesn't mean it will stop us from going to what we really want to achieve, right? So if you want to achieve something, you need to set your goal, and in order to set your goal, you need to know, okay, these are the number of things that I really want to do. And definitely, Umar, I just read a comment here, said exposure matters. Definitely, exposure definitely matters. It helps us to groom ourselves. It helps us to have the knowledge of our surroundings, to know how to sit in front of people. But again, like I said, there are certain things that we can do on our own as well. कहते हैं ना हमारे बस
Hmm.
इख्तियार में भी बहुत सारी चीजें होती हैं.
Bilkul, bilkul, definitely.
Exactly. So that again, practice good communication, good non-verbal communication. जरूरी नहीं है कि मैं सिर्फ अंग्रेजी बोलूं और बहुत फ्लुएंट इंग्लिश बोल रही हूँ तो मैं बहुत अच्छी हूँ. नहीं. I mean,
Bilkul.
I can
100% agree
be
to that.
exactly. So whatever language you're speaking, even if you're talking in Urdu, it's the way you're you're saying, you're putting your words out there. Tariqa. My mom, like growing up all these years, my mom always used to say, "बेटा आपकी ज़ुबान से बहुत फर्क पड़ता है. तो आप जिस तरह से बात करेंगे, आपके सारे काम हो जाएंगे अगर आपकी ज़ुबान अच्छी है." And now over the years, when I entered my professional life and a career as a speech and language therapist, I am amazed with whatever I learned these years growing up, because it was the reality कि जिस तरह से हम बात करते हैं उससे बहुत फर्क पड़ता है. So this, and again, you need to find confidence within you. It's somewhere there in your visceral organs right there, but सबके अंदर confidence है. ये नहीं कि oh, I'm a good communicator and I know how to talk, तो भाई दुनिया खत्म है, यहाँ end है. Manu knows how to talk, right? But it goes for everybody. It's there. The confidence is there. So I have had this. Do we have 2 minutes, 2 more minutes to talk on this topic?
Definitely, miss. I'm actually enjoying the fact that how you're actually developing the whole idea, along with, you're covering the different topics as well. So you have the time to talk about it.
Basically, Sundus, everything is interrelated. So
Hmm.
it's all right there. It's an umbrella and it's all connected. Anyways, so I have had this opportunity to have a training session with kids, in which I was explaining them about confidence and confidence to speak, confidence to talk. So I gave an example of a chest of drawers, and I told them, okay, these are the chest of drawers, and we'll open one at a time, and I'll explain you this mechanism with your body, how it works. So basically, if we picturize or if we imagine a chest of drawers and we open number one, the number one would be our voice. Now, voice, it's so number one is the voice, which is here, which is our instrument, our very own instrument. Now we can fine tune our instrument ourselves, right? It's the power is there. It's within us. So that's our larynx. Our voice box right here, and we have the power to change it no matter however we want it to.
Hmm.
हम से ऊंची आवाज में बात करनी है, हम उसको ट्यून कर सकते हैं. You have that power in you, fine tuning. So confidence number one, your voice, that's your instrument right there. Start tuning yourself. Confidence number two is practicing. Now, the most powerful person is the one who has a very relaxed breathing pattern. Now, right now, I myself, I don't think I have a very relaxed breathing pattern. So,
Oh my God, that's so amazing that how you actually understood even yours, because usually I've always seen teachers, I'm so sorry I'm cutting you out. Usually I see teachers who are like, नहीं नहीं मैं तो ठीक कर रही हूँ. मेरी गलती नहीं है.
no,
But like
I'm
you're
not.
like, yes, and you're right. I can see a difference in your tone, because when I was talking to you on the phone, there's a different tone, and now when I see a tone, there's a different tone. You are right.
Yeah, so exactly. So I am not very relaxed right now, probably because of a lot of external factors. Tension हो रही है कि light नहीं चली जाए, कुछ ना हो जाए.
हाँ
So
बिल्कुल मिस,
I'm
डेफिनेटली.
being honest right now. Anyways, so again, so if we talk about a breathing pattern, सांस यहाँ नहीं होनी चाहिए. It shouldn't be
ओके.
here. It shouldn't be up till here. It's
ओके.
There's something called abdominal breathing. There's something called your diaphragm. वहां से सांस actual जो breathing pattern है, it's the diaphragm that helps us breathe. So you should always have a calm breathing pattern, and you should always feel your diaphragm, and you should understand how you're supposed to breathe and what's next, right? Again, practice a lot.
So basically, if I put it up like this, okay, miss, I think she has a little problem. Basically, if I put it like this, the first one is I guess, our voice. The second one is our confidence, and the third one is our breathing pattern, right?
Okay, no.
So
So
I hope, miss,
confidence comes
you're
under everything. Confidence is
okay.
under everything, right?
ठीक है.
It's in your voice when you're tuning it. It's while you're
मेरी एक
practicing it.
मैं बेसिकली ना मिस, मैं बच्चों वाली थिंकिंग में चली गई हूँ, जिस तरह आपने बोला ना ड्रॉर्स खोलो. अब मैं पूरी वो ड्रॉर देख रही हूँ, और मैंने पहली ड्रॉर वॉइस खोल दी, दूसरी ड्रॉर मैंने डायफ्राम खोल दी, अब तीसरी आप बताएं.
Third is practice. So you're supposed to practice a lot.
Practice. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Third job. And then it is again more of confidence in your speech. That confidence that allows you to understand that now I have to zip my mouth shut, right?
So
Give
true.
it
That is
a
so true. I always say I am amazed by people who exactly know when to be quiet. Because there's a time that you should be quiet. There's like always this time that आपको थोड़ा, okay, I should be very calm. And मैं हमेशा ही बोलती हूँ, I always compliment, especially men who know exactly when to stop. Okay, I've said enough. Now I have to stop.
Right. So, we basically breathe our thoughts. So, you should know how gently we're supposed to breathe. And then we breathe our thoughts shapes into words, and words into expressions. So, that's a
Wow.
chain that continues. So that's how these chest of drawers define our personality, define our body language, our communication, our non-verbal behaviors. So it's very important for us to realize this before we have an interview. I know that's a lot to memorize, a lot to practice, but I think it's a very good tip for the students out there who are preparing for job interviews or interviews for the universities or anything at all, because you need to understand that to be a good communicator you need to have confidence, and confidence is within you. So there's nothing such as I am not confident enough, or I cannot speak, I cannot give presentations, and I'm scared of being at the stage. No, it's just here, and we need to take it out,
That's
right?
so true. Miss, talking about it's all here. ठीक है, I've had a lot of students. I'm a teacher as well, and I've seen my fellows as well, my classmates as well, especially in university as well. I would commend that, one of my mentors, the I would say Umar, has always taught us that leave it all out, eliminate the fear. And I've always believed that eliminating the fear is how you go forward. Miss, how do we build it in a person who doesn't have the exposure that we do? देखिए मिस, हम लोग तो अच्छी यूनिवर्सिटीज में अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह, अच्छे कॉलेजेस में, अच्छे स्कूल्स में पढ़े हुए हैं ना, अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह. बट हर कोई उस बैकग्राउंड से नहीं आ रहा होता, और कभी कभार स्पेशली जब मैं लोगों के इंटरव्यूज कंडक्ट कर रही होती हूँ या मैं किसी को हायर कर रही होती हूँ, तो आई गेट अ लिटिल सेट बैक जब लोग बहुत यू नो गलत वे में बात कर लेते हैं, या उनकी कम्युनिकेशन में कहीं ना कहीं वो एक अजीब बात बोल देते हैं. दैट्स नॉट सपोज्ड टू बी सेड. But as a person, I need to control that for sure. But how does that other person tailor it? Like, control that.
Other person, by other person you mean the person who's actually trying to speak but has the fear in them, or
Yes, and less exposure. It's like they go hand in hand, because jitna kam exposure hoga, utna fear बढ़ता है, right? That's something that we've always seen. So, Miss, why? Talk about that.
okay. Basically, if we're talking about exposure, then yes, that's a very difficult question, because I cannot ask everybody and anybody to come to me and teach them how to talk or communicate effectively. And so, of course, yes, exposure definitely matters. For that, maybe we can have awareness programs. I mean, that's the most we can do for them. Maybe we can go to universities that do not have exposure of teaching them basic life skills, which one of them is
Hmm.
communication and communicating effectively. So maybe if we do that, because I think that's the only thing that we can do. um,
Hmm.
TV and social media is growing every day, and there's so much that we're learning from social media. Then why not learn something that will benefit us and that will be good for us? So I think that's
Exactly.
the most we can do for them.
And I would take your point forward that technology integration is something that we have enhanced in our, even in English language learning, we have introduced certain applications, certain, pronunciation applications. Even I myself am doing a research on that, how you develop your speech better. First, when you are 3 to 4 years old and you start watching Netflix at a very young age, you kind of adapt their pronunciation skills. That is completely tried and tested on my daughter. So I know that's for sure ये होता है. और सेकेंडली अगर आप जितना बच्चों को एक्सपोजर दोगे इन एप्लीकेशन से मोबाइल एप्लीकेशन स्पेशली जो वो लोग यूजुअली कोई गेम खेल रहे हैं बच्चे नो put them towards educational applications, put them towards those applications जहाँ पे वो लोग सीखें गेम्स भी हो लेकिन साथ साथ सीखना भी हो ना educational based applications. Miss, do you think that as a person now, mashallah, you must have seen so many students, they must have graduated as well in front of you must have had different classes. What is that few things, what are the few things that set off a student in their communication, like वो instantly बता देती हैं कि no, it's a no.
For me, like I said, I am in love with the social distancing and the idea of social distancing. So for me, all my students, if by any chance anybody is watching me here, would probably comment right now that Miss Manur, always, always, I am like one arm distance. So whenever a student's talking to me, any student at all, I am very upfront about it. Okay, you should know your personal space. You know, proxime. So आप जब किसी से बात कर रहे हैं तो आपको पता होना चाहिए कि कितने फासले पे खड़े होके आपको उनसे बात करनी है,
Hmm.
right? So we also teach personal space and proxime to kids who come to us for therapy. So
Oh.
right now, this session that we're talking about, it's mostly about people with typical needs, right? But the population that I mostly deal with have concerns, and they're coming from different backgrounds, and they have different disorders and different conditions. So we teach them this skill because it's not in them, right? It's not there. So yes, again,
So
yeah.
Sayyid Waqas Ahmed says that with great power comes great responsibility. So luckily when we get such exposure, we should spread what we learn. This way we can make ourselves comfortable. So basically, he's trying to say what you learn, you preach it. Miss Mahnoor Hasan says, I think your voice waves are your mirror image of personality. And I seriously read people like this. Ma'am, is this logical? She's like, should I do this? Like, should I read people on the basis? So Murtaza Ahmed Kareem says, Manu Madam is an inspiration. Oh, sweet. Umar Khan, sir, Umar is actually watching today, and I'm so proud of myself. कि चलो Umar ने मेरे shows इतना start कर दिया. Due to limited exposure, people lack confidence and create a mental block. A good trainer or mentor detects the problem and boosts them with confidence and make them focus on their strengths and train them not to feel low or less due to their weakness. Make your weakness your biggest strength, and nothing can even break you.
Exactly. I'd like to add something to what he just said. I always tell people that, never look at your weaknesses. Look at your strengths and then hold your strength tightly and work on your weakness. So you have one bit of it, and the other bit that you don't take that one bit and grab it and work on your weakness. So if you have a strength, if you have something in you, then there is nothing that can stop you from achieving that you don't have. So again, a good mentor is definitely something that we all need in life, in every stage in life. Even I have so much to learn, and learning is a never ending process, right?
It's an
So
on-learning process, Falcon.
exactly. So I believe that everybody should learn to respect their views and learn to respect others' thoughts and whatever they're trying to say. Probably because of limited exposure, they're not they do not know things that probably we do. But we can, as a good mentor, we can probably guide them towards the way that we want them to come. Right. So as a
Yes, I
society,
will. uh, as I will take this point forward and I will talk about a good mentor. TKM is because I believe that a teacher is somebody who can break somebody or who can build someone. And I always believe this, especially in my students. I always want them to reflect my optimism. I want them to have it in them. I want them to see the world that, okay, these are the chances and I'm going to win them all. The sky is the limit. They say, na, you shoot for the star, so you land, you shoot for the moon, so you land somewhere in the stars, something like that. So, Miss, a good mentor is very important. I was mentored by Umar. He just messaged over here as well, and he's the one who has always mentored us about how your language, how your speech. Because I am the person who ये लोग सब ना मुझे तेजगाम बोलते थे, जिली बोलने लगती थी बहुत सारा. ये लोग बोलते थे Sundus, calm down. So he would actually say this, calm down, say it again, this time slowly. So get it? A good mentor matters. अगर यही कोई और mentor होता और अगर वो मुझे मेरा कॉन्फिडेंस शेक कर देते, बोलते नहीं तुम नहीं कर सकती, 2 shows के बाद बोलते नहीं, आई डोंट हैव इट इन यू. सो it does affect you. How do you take it? Because sometimes I believe students are actually portraying their teachers as well. जो टीचर्स आपको स्टॉप कर देते हैं ना, वो somehow जब आप कहीं लोगों के सामने जाते हो ना, वो आप में कहीं शो होते हैं.
Definitely. I spoke to one of my students a couple of days back, and he messaged me saying that, Miss, I was very happy on one of his achievements. So he messaged me saying, Miss, do you remember how you told me how body language matters? So apparently he came to me 2 years back, and I kind of career counseled him to, and then he entered speech therapy. And the first thing that I told him, I was like, you need to work on your body language, and I help you do that. And I told him things. And now I think he's entered second year, and he's doing so well. He's not even the same person he was before. So he keep on appreciating me for the fact. I mean, I'm not taking the appreciations here, but I mean, I'm just telling you how important it is to appreciate. And even while telling them about their weakness, you need to be very subtle. There's a way of telling things. I mean, हमें बहुत सी चीजें नहीं अच्छी लगती. हमें अपने पेरेंट्स की भी चीजें नहीं अच्छी लगती, सिबलिंग्स की नहीं अच्छी लगती, फ्रेंड्स की नहीं अच्छी लगती, and even our colleagues. But there's, if you really want to say something, if you want to be upfront, then there's always a way. I mean, I I think I've professionally never gotten into any politics or fights, alhamdulillah, and that's probably because the way I try to communicate with people, and I'm friends with everybody. So it's very important to have a very good relationship with people, and to actually know कि मैंने जिस तरह से बात की है वो किसी को बुरी नहीं लगे, वो किसी को offend नहीं करे. So it's very, very, very important.
That's true. Miss Homer says that one should never judge any person or expect them to be on their level of understanding. Totally agreed. One should respect others and understand reason behind their behavior and correct them in such a way that they feel good about themselves. As Mahnoor said, selection of words and tone matters a lot. A strong communication skill makes life, work, and relations much easier. Miss
So
relationships,
trying
taking
to add, yeah.
exactly. मैं इसी बात को it's so weird that we both took the same point. How much is it in developing a relationship, a good communication?
Well, now the importance of communication skills comes here. Now the actual importance कि हमें क्यों important है हम बात करें. ठीक है. एक तो मिसकम्युनिकेशन कभी नहीं होनी चाहिए और लैक ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन या कम्युनिकेशन गैप कभी नहीं होना चाहिए. Always remember it's the best to talk it out to the other person if you want to be successful. If you want to be successful in your personal life, to be to have a happy married life, to have a happy life with your kids, with your families, a good and happy work life, then I think communication is very important. Now, if you talk about the importance of communication skills, good communicators, they have higher self-esteem. Better communicators have better marriages, definitely. If you're able to talk out your problems, your concerns, you will come up to a conclusion than to keep it to yourself and keep on piling your frustrations, your anxieties, your thoughts. It's better to take out your thoughts in such a way that it's pleasing for the other person. The other person would like to
Exactly.
listen. You should always change your approach. You should always know कि कौन से वक्त पे कौन सी बात करनी चाहिए. This is also very important. I was talking to this friend the other day and I was telling him how it's important to know what to say, again what to say and how to say. गैर जरूरी चीज बोल के किसी का मूड खराब करना से आपका खुद का मूड खराब होता है, right?
That's so
So
true.
you
That's so
should know the timing, the correct timing to talk. If I'm talking to Sundus and probably I'm not really interested in what she just said, or probably I do not like the way she said something to me. But the time right now is not appropriate, right?
true.
Because there's so many people out there watching us live. So I mean, अगर मैं इस वक्त बोल दूं, तो is that the right time to say that? No. And similarly, if I am in a social setting, maybe at a family gathering, I do not like what somebody said, and I got offended. But I should have a good, calm personality, and maybe I'm not saying don't say it. Of course, say it. Your thoughts need to be expressed. Okay, rather than piling those thoughts up, it's better to talk it out. It's better to say. That's what I believe in. But tarika, again, how you say.
तरीका.
Yes, and the right time to say things. Sometimes कोई बात करने से बात बढ़ जाती है, and sometimes वही बात नहीं करें and avoid कर दें वो और ठंडी हो जाती है. So
अच्छा.
make life easier for yourself and make life easier for others, right? Then if you need to build a successful family unit, you need to be a good communicators. You need to talk to your kids, sit down, take out time, उनके साथ बैठे, talk productive with them. So I'm so sorry I'm giving out examples of my personal life and my friends. So I have this friend whose family makes me so happy, mashallah, mashallah. They all communicate together about everything and anything, be it religion, be it tiny things in life, be it their achievements, be it everything. And क्या होता है उससे? Reinforcement. It acts as a reinforcement for it acts like a comfort zone for the family to interact. They'd want to sit down again the next time, the other day, and talk it out because they're being appreciated in front of the family rather than भाई इसको तो कुछ नहीं आता ये निकम्मा है, you know. So
मिस मैं आपको बताऊं, ये बातें हमें लगता है बहुत छोटी हैं. हमें लगता है कि अगर हमारे आई एम सो सॉरी, आई एम अ पर्सन हु ऑलवेज सेज कि एल्डर्स शुड नो द मैनर्स एज वेल. ठीक है, एंड आई बिलीव दैट आई सेड इट thousands of times, and I'm not ashamed of it, and I don't say it in front of the elders, but I always believe that even if I am an elder person, or if I'm somebody who is out there, so there's this guy Arish Lalani. He says that he's proud of you, and Sayyid Waqasim said, which prepare to know how to listen to others. All of us know how to speak. People should know where to stop. This is the basic norm of communication. That is so true. I totally agree to that, and especially coming from Waqas, because he's like a master's student and he's doing his English and literature. So yeah, sure, Waqas, we all need to know when to stop talking. Miss, taking this forward, um, जैसे मैं बता रही थी कि हम लोगों को वो जो एक बेसिक नॉर्म होता है ना, पता होने का कि किस तरह से हम लोगों को अपनी कम्युनिकेशन को लेके जाना है, या अपनी बातों को करना है, लेकिन मसला ये आता है मिस कभी कभार, this is something I wanted to talk to about parents. जब वो इवन हम लोग जब पीटीएम्स में आते हैं हमारे पास पेरेंट्स बच्चों के सामने ही जस्ट से दैट मिस ये तो करता ही नहीं है, मिस इनसे तो होता ही नहीं है, मैं उनको बोलता हूँ ये नहीं करते, I get it, miss he's so into himself, he's always on his game, he's always on his console, get it, and I'm like, can we like not in front of him? And I always say it. And even though it's a little discouraging for the parents to be said in front of the students, but the students should know that I'm at their side because I will always be at their side. I'm not gonna go at the parents' level and I'm gonna say, no, yes, yes, बिल्कुल आप सही बोल रहे हैं, ऐसे ही करता है, ऐसे ही करता है, और उनका, I make the team with the parent. I don't do that. How much do you believe as a parent, as a person who has a family, who's running a family, especially a man, and sometimes even women as well, because mothers play a very important role as well. Their words matter. A parent's words matter. They kind of play back in your mind. When you're out there in the field and you're doing your work, the word comes in the mind, oh my God, amma ne to ye kaha tha, shayad yehi ho jayega, shayad yehi ho jayega. So, what do you say about that?
I think both the parents and they say matters equally, and I'd say the families that have that has fathers more involved, they go places. Trust me on this.
So true. That's so true.
So equally, both the parents are very important, and the parents should draw a line कि किसके सामने मुझे अपने बच्चे के बारे में कौन सी चीज बोलनी चाहिए, right?
That's so true.
You of course parents nahi bolenge if they won't correct our personality, if they won't tell us what's right, what's wrong, who else would? हमें वैसे दूसरों की बातें और बुरी लगती है, right? So our parents shape up our personality, they tell us, they teach us what's right and what's wrong, and we as children we need to understand कि वो हमारी भले के लिए चीजें बोलते हैं at the end of the day. But to all the parents out there, I'm not one right now, so I do not know. But to all the parents out there, since I work with a lot of parents, I think they should just know again when to say something and who the audience should be. बहुत ज़्यादा audience के सामने नहीं हो. If you're talking to
Exactly.
your kid, if you're talking to your
That's a
kid,
very
bring them
big
one
thing.
on one. Yes, bring them one on one. एक उनके साथ बैठे, उनसे बात करें अकेले में. Do not even involve the siblings because sibling
Sibling
rivalry.
rivalries also. Yes,
Exactly, I just had to say
exactly.
that. There's
Exactly.
something
It
about
is so
sibling
true.
rivalry. And then again, I am the middle child, ये हो गया, I'm the elder one, I'm the younger one, वो debate. You're the
It's
middle
so true.
child?
Miss होती है, मिस होती है, मिस मैं बता रही हूँ, होती है.
Definitely. So I think the parents should also, adjust accordingly. And the approach, so this is one of the most important steps to communicate with your kids, which is how and what approach to use, right? कौन सी
Hmm.
अप्रोच आप इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं? अगर आपके बच्चे बहुत शार्प हैं, बहुत समझदार हैं, बहुत ज़हीन हैं, तो वो आपके बच्चे हैं, आप भी बहुत ज़हीन होंगे. So use your approach wisely, right? I'm so sorry, I'm just trying to bring some spark in the show.
It's actually good. It's actually good because that's true, miss. मेरा मतलब हरगिज ये नहीं था इस बात को आगे लेके जाना कि I'm targeting the parental body or if I'm targeting the elders. I target myself all the time. So, I'm the person who says what I see in front of me, and I see this as a very big problem, especially as a teacher, when I look at my students and they get silent when their parent is around, or they get confused when their parent is around. I know there's something wrong.
I
I know
believe
there's
you should
something
be
that's
most comfortable when your parents are around,
exactly.
right?
When your parent calls you, you should be like, okay, fine. You should have this breath of relief. Ke chalo, Amma is calling me, Abba is calling me. I'm okay now. It's gonna be fine. So these things matter, and I always say, even if thousands of years or like 100 years after my show is going to come in front of students, they're going to realize that we talked about the content that was there to be talked about. We did not only say कि नहीं नहीं बड़े सब अच्छे होते हैं, हमारा culture बहुत अच्छा है, सब good है, कोई बुरी बात नहीं है. There are things that are pitched up. We need to fix them as the new generation, and we have to, because as new parents, as the next generation coming, as the people, because now in university especially, people are going to have their families after this, inshallah. They're going to have a big unit that's going to work under them, or develop under them. So they need to understand that please cater your words, use the right words. Murtaza Ahmed Karim says, good and right communication is a key of prosperity and stability in life, be it personal or professional. Miss professional life, I've usually seen women have a lot of problems in professional life. Why? Because when you're working in a very big environment, especially women, that is a lotly, women oriented, there are a lot of small nitty gritties that happen that lead to bigger things. ये प्रोफेशनल environments के बहुत छोटे छोटे मसले होते हैं. It's very small कि you didn't do this, you didn't sign this paper on time, or you used that tone with me when you were signing this paper. So ये मैंने देखा है, ये मैंने experience करा है. तो मिस, what about this? How, as a professional, as I'm a professional, I deal with people all the time. You tell me, what should I change in myself? What tone should I be using when I'm talking to people, talking to you in my hires, or anyone?
Well, again, if you talk about supra-segmental features, now it's a terminology that we as speech
Yes,
language therapists use, right? So
yes,
it's something super than those segments more than language, which
yes, miss.
which has your intonation, your prosody, your
Yes.
tone, your how much are you stressing on the words. So I'd say tune your voice box. आपकी जो प्रोसिडी है, आपकी जो इंटोनेशन है, हाईज एंड लोज आपको पता होना चाहिए कि मैं कौन सी बात पे ऊंचा होके बोलूं कि तो अच्छा लगेगा, और कौन सी बात पे नीचे होके बोलूंगी तो अच्छा लगेगा. So you need to monitor. There's a graph when we talk, right? So उसमें pitch, frequency सब monitor हो रही होती है. So you need to have that in there, and you need to visualize the pattern, how you're speaking, right? How you're talking, how you're trying to communicate. Self monitoring is one strategy which is very important. आप अगर सेल्फ मॉनिटर नहीं कर सकते कि आप किस तरह से बात कर रहे हैं, तो चाहे आपको जो मर्जी मेंटोर कर दे, जो मर्जी सिखा दे, आप नहीं सीख सकते.
नहीं सीख
Right?
सकते.
If there's somebody who can highlight a few factors, and then you can self monitor those, that is when you understand the importance of changing yourself, or your those tiny things that needs to be changed in you.
That's so true, Miss. I'm so like time went by. I didn't even realize it's 47 minutes now, mashallah, to our session, and I'm seriously telling you, Miss. I'm gonna hold a training session with you on these frog scenes because I believe this is highly important, highly needed. People don't realize it, especially even now when I am becoming more, I'm gradually developing more professionalism and more, basically it's the years, it's the experience I'm gaining. तो मिस मुझे एहसास होता है कि आप जैसे ही इंटर होते हो ना, एंड द फर्स्ट फ्यू थिंग्स यू से, देयर लाइक एन ऑन एंड ऑफ फॉर यू. आप वहीं लोग बता देते हैं कि oh, down the hill, or up the ladder. It's like that. Miss, we need to develop that, and we will be having a training session soon, inshallah, with you on frog themes. Miss, any last words? How is this experience? How is this whole setting? Do you your experience with Greenwich University as well? Because obviously you were working with Dean University, and it's so good to have somebody from a different university in my university's platform and talk about their experience. So tell us about it.
You'd like Can you repeat your question again, please? Like, you'd like me to tell how the experience was with you, or how my experience
Miss,
is?
the whole Miss, your experience with us in this whole conversation, because in this Greenwich platform, it's the first time you've come, and I really hope to see you more because you really actually teach very well. So, Miss, how was your experience with us? This whole setting of an online session.
Sundus, I'll be very honest. It's a great experience, and thank you for providing with me with the opportunity and this platform, because um, हम किस किस की लाइफ को बेहतर कर रहे हैं हमें नहीं पता. By this live talk session that we had right now. So I really like, this is something that I really love to talk about, communication and body language, non-verbal communication and proxeme. So this topic is basically a never-ending topic. So again, the experience was lovely, and I'm overwhelmed by the introduction that you gave, my introduction. So it was very nice. Thank you for having me here. And just a little heads up to the students who are applying for
Yes.
different fields. यू नो एक टाइम था जब हम कहते थे कि अच्छा जी हमारा बच्चा इंजीनियर बने या डॉक्टर बने so there are lots of other career options that we all have and if again you enjoy science, you enjoy psychology, you enjoy linguistics, language, um, different um, social sciences and education, then maybe speech therapy could be the right decision for you. And if not speech therapy, then there's so many different career options out there as well. Allied health sciences or medical related fields that you can opt. And again, speech therapy is an emerging field. It's new, so awareness hote up eventually we've made up our way up there, alhamdulillah, but we're still very few speech therapists in Pakistan. So it's again a variety of people that we deal with, and the setting that we work in is also very different. So it's nice, and again, do whatever you feel makes you happy, do whatever you feel makes you content, and at the end of the day you're at ease, you feel good about whatever you do. So have something के दिन के आखिर में आए तो you feel peaceful and you feel happy. थके हुए तो सब होते हैं, everybody is tired, whatever work you do we're all tired at the end of the day, but you should be interested in what you do. And I think I love what I do. I'm at ease. I'm at the end of the day I feel कि, okay, कुछ तो किया है, कुछ अच्छा किया है. So so I think it
Miss,
goes out
uh,
for everyone.
Miss, मैं आपको, before I end this conversation, I would totally agree that career counseling is something that is still lacking in Pakistan. We do not develop students' interest in different fields, and then we are saying that why Pakistan is not prospering. We target different, governmental institutions for that. That is something completely wrong because अगर मेरे एंड से एक प्रॉपर साइकिल नहीं चलेगा बच्चों को बताने का एज अ टीचर कि देखो ये लाइट भी बनाना इज अ प्रोफेशन, ये लाइट बल्ब भी बनाना इज अ प्रोफेशन, ये कुर्सी भी बनाना इज अ प्रोफेशन, इट्स अ वेरी गुड प्रोफेशन, गो फॉर इट. जब तक मैं इन इस स्टेप बाय स्टेप हर प्रोफेशन को डेवलप नहीं करूंगी ना, आई डोंट थिंक बच्चों में वो इंटरेस्ट बढ़ पाएगा. क्योंकि हर बच्चा, मैं खुद प्री मेडिकल की स्टूडेंट थी, preset notion yahi tha that yes, I'm going to be a doctor. Yes, once the slap of the big institution comes on your mind that 89 se niche you're not going to come, I decided to go in biotechnology. So I also faced the same thing because I was not counseled well, I have to say this. Then after all those dhakke and everything, when nothing worked out, I finally chose the career I wanted. I wanted to talk about words. I loved words. Words were, they always meant very special to me, and I chose literature.
Words are
Miss,
generally very powerful, and it's the beautiful expression one can have. वो लोग जो कहते हैं ना कि I'm not very expressive, I do not buy that. You need to be expressive. How can you not choose words as your expression? Because I believe they're beautiful, and choose it wisely and use it wisely. So pragmatics, that's when pragmatics
definitely.
comes in. Okay, use of language. So use it wisely and choose it wisely. And there's no beautiful expression than words. तो आपका
That's
दिल
it.
बड़ा करता है. तो आपको, you know, yes. And again, for kids out there, जो interviews के लिए बहुत डर रहे होते हैं, yes, when applications comes in, CV, resume हमारे पास आते हैं, we do see what universities they've studied from or they've done their graduation from. Definitely देखते हैं. But जब हम interview के लिए बुलाते हैं, वो चीजें इतना matter नहीं करती. और उनकी communication skills matter करती है. If I'm impressed by somebody who knows how to talk, who knows how to communicate, who's answering beautifully, I'd be like, "ये job आपकी हुई." At least
That's
that's
so
what I.
true. That's
Yeah.
so true. Barira also says with awareness, acceptance of other professions like speech language pathology is also increasing. Definitely. Thank you so much for your time, Miss Mahnoor. I really appreciate it. Time went by and I didn't even know. This was Miss Mahnoor Hasan with us, and she's a speech language therapist. And what her idea behind speech language therapy was that she wanted to break her basic idea, even after when we were, before having this conversation, she wanted me to make the other students understand that this is a career. Start getting aware, and start developing your insights on different careers. Go practice different ideas, different occupations, and just go in the field and see there are different things. It's not only doctor, engineer, or I don't know, pilots. That's it. There's so many people at the back doing what they're doing, the things that makes them go at different levels. So thank you so much for your time, everybody. Really appreciate it. If you have any queries or you have feedback, please let me know. Uh, Reimaging education is always going to be here. It's going to help you guys, reimage your focus on education. I try to give you guys content that helps you in your future. If there's anything that I am missing out, please let me know. Thank you so much for your time. This is your host, Sundus Anwar, signing out. Allah Hafiz, Pakistan Zindabad.